So I was kidnapped in Honduras.
You were kidnapped in Honduras?
Yeah, 2 cars in the front, 2 cars in the back, one on the side. A bunch of guys came down with literally AKs. We were like tied down. My parents sold everything.
Oh, they got shook.
That's why I moved to the United States.
Get ready for Real Lives of Real Estate, where the world of real estate meets the essence of your life. Buckle up as we unravel stories, homes, and the heartbeat behind it all. Let's dive into another episode. I hope you share and are encouraged. All right, I'm here with the one and only Oscar Nunez. They call him the GOAT. Team lead, investor, and new friend. Well, not really new friend. I feel like I've known you now like via text. I met you one other time in person, I believe. Did we? I think. I don't know why.
I think like so. At least once.
Yeah, and now we've been falling in love in Newark for today before Rami came. So with that said, very happy to have you on.
Thank you, brother.
No, we're very, very, very grateful. Let's start off right with my favorite question: is what did you grow up in? Where did you grow up? What did you grow up in? What was real estate look like to you?
First of all, I'm not Colombian like you said earlier today.
I thought he was Colombian. He is not Colombian. I misprofiled him. I what's called miss. I was gonna say misgender. Oh my gosh.
No. We don't go that route.
Shut down. Canceled.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm Honduran. I moved here about 11 years ago. So I wasn't born or.
And how old are you now?
27.
So you moved here at 16?
16, 17, yeah.
Oh,
it was my mid-junior year in high school. So I moved here. I was born and raised in Honduras. I knew English because I went to a bilingual school, but it was like England English. So my accent was thicker than what it is right now.
Really?
Because I had that England...
English accent?
Yeah. So it was bad. So people were saying, what are you saying? And I thought I knew English because I went to a bilingual school.
But you didn't know.
I did not.
Well, let me ask you a question. What was life like in Honduras? Did you grow up in like a building, a house?
It was in a house. My dad did real estate. Actually,
in Honduras, he did real estate?
Yeah, right before we moved here. He probably did like real estate for 5 years before moving into the United States.
When you say he did real estate, what was he doing?
He owned a brokerage. Yeah. It's completely different than the United States.
Would you mind sharing?
Like over there, it's like if you want to sell a property, it's word of mouth. You want to buy a house? Okay, cool. Let me go around the corner. You have a house to sell, and then just put it together, and that's it. And every time he listed a property, he had to put it in a newspaper, wait 2 weeks to be on the market on the newspaper, and then hopefully somebody will buy it through the newspaper.
Now, did you grow up? You said he was in real estate for 5 years. So you were 11. What did your dad do when you were growing up?
He was in banking, and then he owned a couple businesses here and there.
So your dad was always entrepreneurial?
Yeah, always.
And you guys lived in a house?
We live in a house, yeah.
I love asking this question. When did you realize that you guys owned the house and you didn't rent the house?
Well, so my life changed a lot. So my parents, according to most of my family per se, were poor. Like my family surrounding. Even my parents were super poor at some point. And then when I started realizing that every single person in my family, all my cousins and everybody was in public schools. And public schools in our countries are not U.S. public schools. Like it's completely different. And we were the only ones in bilingual school. And that's when I realized that, my lifestyle was completely different than normal.
So relatively, you would say that your parents were like more wealthy than the rest of your family.
Yeah, I wouldn't say wealthy because they were not super wealthy, but
of course,
we had
comparatively
a good living. Correct. Yeah. Wow. So my surrounding circle was always with the wealthy people. So even though I was not there yet, or my family, right? But actually, it's funny that we're talking about that because when about 2 years ago, my dad showed me for the first time how much money he was making in Honduras, like through his commission statements, and I'm like. Because over there in real estate, you get paid with dollars.
Oh, wow.
So US dollars. So when he showed me, I was like, that's how much money he used to make? Like, that's crazy back in the days.
Was he making a lot or not so much or little?
No, a lot of money.
Oh, he was making a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money.
But you didn't know?
I had no idea.
Wow.
At all whatsoever.
Okay, what age do you think you realized, like, hey, my parents have a more stable, we're doing better off than some people around us? How old were you?
So, I mean, I was born in a household that I had everything, quote unquote. I was going on vacation. So I wouldn't put a date or a specific year, but I did realize I'm not going to lie, when I saw those pay stubs, I'm like, my parents did really well.
Oh, wow.
My parents were so humble that they never actually, my dad could afford the lifestyle of a wealthy person over there. His goal was completely different than.
Yeah. What was his goal?
There. So his stuff, he always wanted to build such a big company for actually me and my siblings to run it. And then, crazy story, which I'm going to share here. So you're probably gonna be the first one to be
Notepad.
public.
I'm ready.
So I mean, I think I told a couple of people. I think I said it in a panel once.
The Silva podcast exclusive.
Yeah. So I was kidnapped in Honduras.
You were kidnapped in Honduras?
Yeah, that's why I moved to the United States. Yeah. So because of the real estate aspect,
because of real estate?
I would say so because my dad was doing well. So there was a year he just skyrocketed his business, and
word got out.
Yeah. So I was kidnapped.
Would you mind sharing about it?
Yeah, that's fine. That's why I'm sharing with you. I was like, you
know
what? I never said it before. I've been in podcasts before, videos, panels, and I was like, I never.
What happened?
So, a crazy story too. I was actually looking to be a professional soccer player. So I used to play in the U15 national team. Well, like they were scouting around. So I would say I was close enough to that I could have made it. So I was going to a soccer game, and I got intersected by a couple of people.
Were you walking?
No, I was in the car.
You
with
driving
my
or
dad.
someone
My dad was driving.
Okay.
And then I just got
kidnapped. It's not just I got kidnapped. You're just
Yeah.
When they went to the car, they have weapons, no weapons.
It's crazy. Sometimes I regret it, but I feel like that made me into who I am right now, because we went to pick up a friend of mine to go play soccer. So we were waiting for him. He took like so long. So my dad was like, we're not gonna wait for him. We're just gonna leave. And then we left. But I feel bad. I was like, Dad, can you just go back? I feel bad. Like, I don't wanna leave him here. My dad turned around, went back. The second he came back again,
they got you.
Yeah.
Did your friend set you up?
I highly doubt it.
I
don't know.
That's pretty.
I don't know. I mean, he took forever to come out.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be good kidnappers.
Yeah.
And then how did they get you out of the car?
So, never forget, 2 cars in the front, 2 cars in the back, 1 on the side. And then a bunch of guys came down with literally AKs and stuff like that. And they sent us on the back of the car.
How much money could your dad possibly have been making? Or is Honduras just so poor that to make money was just such a big
over there it's like medium class here, you're rich over there. Put it that way. Okay. So
if you're upper class here, you're like
over there, like, don't talk to me kind of thing. They probably don't even live in the country, just go back and forth. Yeah. So damn, I lost track.
Oh no, it was 2 cars in the front, 2 cars in the back.
Yeah,
one
so
on the
they
side.
sent me on the back to the back seat.
And what was your dad doing?
Nothing. Like what we could have done? We had like 20 guys surrounding us.
Nothing you could do.
So at that point,
even if you have 5 guys, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, like
these guys have guns.
Yeah, guy has like guns pointed out.
Oh my God, but it's your son.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough.
It's tough, man. And even my dad says
this is a crazy story.
Thanking me, I feel like we're alive because there were so many scenarios that we could have gotten killed. But I don't know. There was something in me always that I try to confront the guys. It's like, guys, what are you gonna kill us for? Like, we're not gonna snitch. We're not gonna tell the cops about you guys.
Oh, because of ransom, you're saying.
Yeah.
So how long were you? Was it ransom that they wanted? I'm assuming
we get kidnapped for 2 days. For 2 days. My mom paid for the.
You and your dad both got taken.
Yeah, we're both kidnapped.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. I thought they took just you.
No.
So they took both you and your dad. Where did they hold you?
Well, so I will never forget. First, they left us. We went to a motel. So in our countries, there's like these motels where you could park the car in the garage. Mm-hmm. But once you get into the garage, it's the unit. So nobody could see what's going on inside.
Wow.
So
there's no crying for help.
Yeah, no, absolutely nothing. Wow. We were like tied down, laying down on the bed, me and my dad. So at that point, I guess they were negotiating with my mom. I feel like my dad always tells me, or my mom, like, it's so hard to find out who it was, to be honest. Like, in our country,
you're never going to know.
Yeah, they're never going to.
But how much was the ransom?
My parents never told me.
They never told you.
They never told me that.
Trauma. And then, okay, so do you know what time of year this was?
2012, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
About 2012.
2012. And then when it, like, summer, winter, you ever remember? It's long memory.
It's probably summer.
How long after until you moved to America?
So, kidnapped. We lived there. My parents sold everything.
Oh, they got shook.
Yeah, we sold everything but the house, right? Everything, like, we sold our cars, belongings, other properties they own, whatever. But we kept our original house. We left. We came to the United States.
Shut the business down, the end.
So we always had a visa. We always came to the United States. Sorry.
But you came with, your parents had money, so it was a little bit better of a transition. They weren't like going crazy when they got here.
We moved here 6 months in, right? So when you move with a visa, the country doesn't allow you to stay here for longer than 6 months. Otherwise, at the point, you become illegal, right? An immigrant, put it that way. Well, no, we're all immigrants, but illegal. So my dad was like, no, I'm not used to this. I want my own house. I don't want to become a illegal person here. Like, there's no way I'm going to stay here. And at that point, I was living in Edgewater from back in the days. My dad was paying like $3,000 a month, something like that, in an apartment. And
this is 10 years ago, so it was a very nice apartment.
and I would say, but we lived there in Edgewater, and then we stayed there for 6 months. And then a month before like the expiration of the 6 months, my dad asked that question, hey, look, either we used to this lifestyle, which I wasn't used to it, right? I was used to my big house, not an apartment. I was used to like my dad having a nice car, like my friends and stuff like that. So we decided to move back to Honduras. We lived there for like a year and a half.
So you moved back to Honduras?
We moved back to Honduras.
And then how old were you when you guys came back? What was Honduras like? Yeah, why'd you even come back?
So because my dad was so used to like that lifestyle that we had over there. Over here we were like paying rent. Like the car that we didn't have.
You have respect.
Yeah.
You're figuring stuff out.
So it's that ego that I feel like once you reach to a level, any given point, entrepreneurs, like they will get hit, right? If you go lower than your standards from before. So we went back to Honduras, and now my dad made more money than before, right? I actually, when you asked me that question, I feel like that's the point that my parents started making more money. Then my lifestyle started to change a little bit more. And then again, we got hit. We were not kidnapped, but my dad actually got a text message and a phone call. I will never forget. It was a Saturday morning, and I was young, still remember, saying that if we don't pay them X amount of dollars, then we're gonna kill my entire family. So, but they knew everything about us. They knew like the text
what time
was
you left, what time you got home, the whole nine.
The text message literally said, "I know your wife dropped off the kid at this time. Your license plates are this." Like your 2 daughters, your son, like everything,
Wow.
like everything was.
And your parents said, we got to leave.
Yeah, at that point, we didn't even think about it. The second we got done, we left.
Is Honduras still this dangerous?
Is it? I mean, I'm sure it is. I hope like not like before, but to be honest, I let go a lot of Honduras because
you don't even go back.
I got that little thing in me that I'm thankful, but at the same time, like. It hurts me more because of my parents, right? Because we hit bottom, man. When I tell you, like, from the lifestyle we had over there, we moved here, we hit bottom, like living basement type of thing compared to over there.
Okay, wow. So fast forward, you came to the country when you were 16, then for the final time.
Correct.
Okay, 16 years old. 17 or 18 years old, something like that.
Somewhere around that time.
You come in. You said you came. Where did you move when you came back for the second time?
West New York.
West New York. Okay. All right. Super Latino community, right? Vibes. What are your thoughts? Like, what do you want to do for work? What your dad's telling you? What your mom's telling you?
To be honest, at that point, I still had my soccer. Like, I would just want to be a professional soccer player.
You still thought you were going to be a soccer player?
Yeah.
After all this?
Yeah. I was still like, I was upset.
Brother.
Yeah.
The writing was not on the wall.
Yeah.
You were a target.
Because I was like, my soccer was my thing, man. Like, I was like,
Do you still play now?
Tore my ACL, both knees, ligaments, like dislocated shoulder.
Really plummeted. Wow.
No, I got into real estate because of that. Because I was gonna get into college with a full ride.
Wow. What college were you planning on going to?
So I had scholarships from every, like D1s, D2, D3. Wow. So I was still like on the fence to see where I was gonna go. I just needed to choose a scholarship pretty much because my scholarship was academics and soccer. And then 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I used to play for Ironbound, Newark Ironbound. Tore my ACL. Lost all my scholarships, and then that's how I got into real estate. My dad was like, "You want to pay for college, buddy?" Real estate. I got into real estate.
And your dad was thinking, well, I did it in Honduras. How hard can it be here?
Yeah.
Did your dad take a license here in Jersey or no when he came through?
He ended up getting it just not too long ago. So
really?
The whole thing was that
nice.
my dad was trying so hard to get into it that he couldn't because of language barriers.
Because he wasn't really speaking the English. You were because you went to English school, but he was full Spanish.
Correct. So he tried for quite some time.
Oh, and then, so let's fast forward. So when you came to the country, you tear your ACL, I guess now is like how you got into real estate, right? You were mentioning earlier.
Yeah.
What was that like? You're a realtor, right? At this time, you were like becoming a realtor about what, 19, 20 years old? 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 20 years old, 19, you're trying to get into college, you tear your ACL, it's no good. Your parents came for money, you're about to get killed like 16 times in Honduras. It's like an annual thing. They're just like, hey, let's kidnap Oscar. you get into real estate. What did your friends think when you made the decision? Did you have friends in the soccer teams or stuff, or where was that?
I had friends. I actually lost a lot of them because
The
when I
move?
got into the business, they thought I was so like money oriented. So, which was one of the best decisions probably that happened in my life.
How, when you got into real estate, did you have another job or did you go full time?
No, my dad never allowed me to work for nobody because he told me you shouldn't be working for nobody. So I'll never forget. I wanted to work at Hollister, right? My senior year, my dad was like, "Who are you working for other people?" But my dad was not the one that he would guide me, but at the same time he would force me. He was like, "No, you're not gonna work for nobody." And then I guess he was waiting until I got into college to tell me, "No, go do real estate." So
Wow.
real estate is my first job ever.
Real estate's the first work you've ever done in your life.
I never had a salary. I never had like.
You never even had a, hey, I used to
Employee
mop
history.
floors for, you never had a side hustle when you were young?
I think it was working for a supermarket, throwing like newspapers and stuff like that. But it was like, I give me $300 and I'll just do it for the entire weekend kind of thing. But never had a 9 to 5 salaries.
Wow.
Anything.
So, okay, this is a very interesting story.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you get into real estate. What is your first sale like?
Man, I will never forget. Like, he's so lucky. My ex-manager, Joe Cubia's broker, would know the whole story how I got into real estate. I feel like
Wow. Why is that?
I feel like if that would have never happened, I would have never been in real estate.
Why? What happened?
Because you know, White Care, they have something called floor.
No.
Like, they don't have an admin, right? So then nobody picks up the phone calls, but the new agents that signed up
Oh, yes.
to be part of it. Brand new agent. I didn't want to do real estate one more time. I was like, gotta go to the office. First day. Literally, first day. I'm sitting. It sounds like a fake story, but if you guys want to know a story called Joe Cubias, he will tell you he was my broker. I'm sitting there, first phone call, a state attorney calls. He's like, "Hey, I'm looking for a real estate agent to sell this property." And then I had no idea how real estate works. I was like, "Oh yeah, come to the office." My broker's like, "Why would you made a listing appointment at the office?" Right? He's laughing at me, whatever. He came, I ended up getting the listing. 6%, Fort Lee on Palisade Avenue. Forgot what was the number, like upper $600,000, 6%. Mind you, I'm like 19, 20 by then. So I still didn't know what was my commission at that point. Sounds like a fake story, but it's true story. And then that same week, I didn't have nobody to go put for sale signs for me, stuff like that. I'm putting that for sale signs. I'm struggling. Palisade Avenue, if you guys know, it's a main road. Car passed by, Costa Rican couple selling the house.
Costa Ricans for the
Yeah,
win.
I will never forget. His name is Caesar, and the wife I forgot. Those were my first clients ever. Are you selling the property? Yes. Can we see it? Yeah, it was an estate property. So we got in. We want it. Call the state attorney. Hey, I got a buyer here willing to pay. I think it was over asking at that point. It was like, yes, take it. Double-handed at 6%. And
You
then
were
I'm like,
I'm rich.
what? Like, what is this? First job ever. And I remember friends of mine telling me they were making $1,000 a month. When I got that check, I'm like, what? But it took me another 5 to 6 months to get my next check. So I feel like if that would have never happened, I probably would have quit because I was like 6 months with no income whatsoever.
Now you are 27, so you've been in the industry like 27, right?
Yeah.
So you've been in the industry like 7, 8 years, like me, right? We started around the same time. I was 22 and a half. I just turned 23. Literally, when I got my license, I just turned 30. So 7 years, like on the dot, or 7 years and 2 months, whatever. So, question for you: what does your past 7 years look like in terms of like how have you balanced work with like your personal life?
That's something that I lacked a lot. I feel like I lost a lot of my personal life. Like, I lost my hobbies. I lost, like, my daily basis is just real estate. Right now,
Like 7 days a week?
Yeah, man.
So you're telling me you're 7 days a week, every day, your life is just real estate?
Yeah. I started for the first time vacationing a lot. A lot of people think I was going on vacations all the time. I started kind of like doing it for a little bit more.
How many weeks? How many weeks a year do you think you vacation?
I mean, as of now, I started vacationing probably like 4 to 5 times a year.
Like 2 weeks long, week long, 5 days long?
Yeah.
Probably like a week or so?
Nah, like 3 or 4 days I start going crazy.
So it's, let's say you maybe take 20 days on vacation a year, 20 days off a year.
I would say, yeah.
But you're working 7 days a week outside of that?
Yeah, man. I was, because I was doing the open houses. I was like, a lot of people know me because of door knocking. So I was addicted to door knocking every single day.
Well,
so
you just like being outside in the sun?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, the little tan.
That's the only thing I was like literally doing.
Wow, okay. So, okay, let me ask you.
But now my life changed, right?
So that's why I guess the question is like, what does your life look like now?
Now, I mean, for the first time, I started paying a trainer. Started like about a month ago.
What's a trainer? What do you mean trainer?
Like a private fitness trainer.
Oh, fitness trainer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now
What made you want to get a fitness trainer?
Besides health, it was more like I needed to find a hobby. I started playing soccer again after like 10 years after
Gotta
college.
be careful.
For like a year and a half ago, I started playing soccer again. That was my passion. So I give up everything and I was just into real estate. And I was getting into bad habits.
But you were saying you give up everything. You tell me, did you date?
I dated probably at the beginning of my real estate career.
When's the last time you were in a serious committed relationship?
Damn, I even forgot when I broke up with my ex, like which at the beginning of real estate.
So about 7 years, you haven't had a serious girlfriend that you say, hey, this was like, I'm not trying to put those, if you loved Oscar, we love you. I'm sure he was a great guy.
Yeah.
But like, I'm talking about a serious committed relationship. Like, hey, this could be something special.
Talk to,
no, talk to zero. I'm talking about
like
this
me,
could
like,
be something special.
Me, like, you want to be my girlfriend? We're dating?
Yeah, like bring to the family.
7 years.
Do you want to have a
5
family?
years. Man, that's my passion. I want 5 kids.
What do you mean that's your passion? That's not your passion. How is that your passion?
It is.
You spend no time on it.
I just
you
feel
haven't
like
dated someone in 7 years. That's not your passion. Your passion's real estate. How can that be your passion? It's like me saying my passion's music. I never play piano.
Man, I want 5 kids, man.
Brother, I love it with all my heart. How is that your? Help me with that. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I feel like that's probably is my passion because I want to find the perfect. I know there's no perfection in something, but I want like perfect. I guess I was.
Brother, I'll tell you. I have one guaranteed way to get perfect. Very simple. You see, we're on this tower.
Yeah.
You just jump off the tower, die, and pray to God you go to heaven. That's the only place there's perfection. That's it. There's no. I'm happily married with my wife, right? My wife is a great support system. She's a safe place for me a lot. There's a reason why like 50, 60, 70% of relationships end up in divorce. Mm-hmm. Relationships, marriage, family. Like my wife and I, we want to have 4, right? My wife, where she's pregnant right now with our second. And I'll tell you right now, there is no doubt in my mind. It is like the most enriching, rewarding experience. And it has called me up to a different level than I ever knew. Yeah. You can't be like, unless you're a narcissist, like you're a pathological psychopath, you come to a place where you realize I literally don't have what it takes. Yeah. Like something's got to give. I can't do everything. I can't be a great father, a great husband, and just I'm only a human, right? Yeah. So I actually think, you could even make the argument that you are passionate about like the family life. And that's why you're working hard now. So then when you have like the family like I have, like I don't have to work as much now. But I'll tell you, I make less money now than I did 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. I make less money now. And but for me, like you were saying before, we hop in pockets. Like, I want to make more and more and more. Yeah. I was the same way. But now that I have my son and my other one, I'm like, I'm okay with making literally half as much money. I'm not exaggerating. If I made half as much money as I did last year, I'm totally content. Yeah. I wouldn't feel like a failure at all if I spend twice as much time with my son. Yeah. So like for me, I'm okay with making less money. My family doesn't need $1 million to live a year. We're good. If we made 400,000, 500,000, 300,000, we're okay. Even if we made 200 grand between my wife and I, we'll be okay. There's no problem. We'll live. My parents growing up together, their best year ever was like 90 grand, 100 grand. That was maybe 1 year. My whole life growing up, I remember my mom said to me when I was like 17 years old, hey, I made 100 grand or something, 16. I was like, whoa, it's a crazy thing. But the year before that, we made like negative 40 grand, So I guess what I'm trying to say is we got to get you married up.
Man, I'm ready.
Ladies, Oscar, he's 27 years old. He's a guy, a soccer body, professional trainer. He's willing to give up real estate. DM him. Let me ask you a question. What would be like, because you have a very demanding schedule, right? Yeah. You work a lot. You said 7 days. Would you be willing to cut back to like 5 days a week if it meant being in a relationship?
1 day a week, I'll cut it.
No, stop. You will not cut down to 1 day a week.
Man, yeah. Right now, look, I went from 7 days to like 5 days because now training. Okay. Now I want to spend more time with my sisters, with my mom. I started seeing life differently because of that. My aunt passed away like December. That's when I was like,
were you close?
It hit me. Oh, absolutely. I was super close. But that hit me. I feel like that's why my first quarter of this year, it was kind of like, man, how can I see life different besides real estate? Like, I was just so into real estate. And that was my entire schedule. And it sounds bad what I'm going to say. It's like, real estate and a lot of party. Like real estate, a lot of party, real estate, a lot of party. I feel like I was feeling my happiness with that party aspect, which I before
Super
I didn't,
normal.
Yeah,
Super
which
normal.
I didn't party before.
You're in your 20s.
Yeah, but I never partied. My first probably 3-4 years in my real estate career, I didn't party at all. And then later, I think that's when I was dating my ex. And then when I broke up with her, I was, I wanted to fill that gap of like, going on dates and stuff like that, and just started like manically like partying.
I remember you threw a big party I saw on Instagram one time for your birthday or something.
Yeah,
You
for
threw
my
like a big
birthday.
one. Would you mind? So would you mind talking about that? Because I'll tell you this. I think it's a very very interesting experience. For
Yeah.
me, I'll tell you my life lesson I had afterwards. But what was that party? How big was it? What made you throw such a big lavish party?
Man, it was like over 180 people.
180 people, and like how much you think overall the party cost?
So it was almost like a promoting scenario, right? Like I didn't come out as much.
He said it was a write-off. The title company
It
helped.
was pretty much a write-off, yeah.
The title company chipped in. The lender chipped in. Insurance agents were chipping in. ADT security chipped in.
So I mean, I was surprised. It didn't cost me nothing after everything. So because there was promotion between that. But
Did you have like a mortgage company there posted on the bottle girls? Like,
no, not really. It was like I came in agreement with a promoting scenario. Like,
what do you mean?
I went to like the owner of the lounge. So like whatever they spend,
interesting.
I get X percentage back, and it was almost for free.
so it wasn't like free alcohol.
No, I did one recently, free alcohol for 3 hours, but same thing. It probably cost me, I don't know. I think it was like 8,000, something like
the
that.
whole party.
For the whole party, but it was the first 3 hours. But I had the same agreement with the owner that after those 3 hours, the second somebody starts spending with the business card, with the credit cards, I get a percentage out of that. So
Nice.
I made back an extra 4,000, 5,000.
So you really are doing it
3,000.
as being better. Now let me ask you a question here. I'm very curious. How did you feel after the party?
I was satisfied for a little bit because my first birthday party I celebrated. I never celebrate my personal birthdays. I felt like I did it because I felt successful that year, which was last year, right? Where I was like, I don't know why in me I was like, hey man, I feel happy about myself. So I was actually happy because I was never like celebrating birthdays. I never called friends.
Oh, you didn't grow up like that.
Well, my family grew up like that, but as a kid.
Okay.
But then
you
when I
mean
moved
as an adult?
as an adult, like no, because remember when we moved to the United States, we hit bottom. So like there was no celebration.
And you were brand new. You didn't have deep friendships.
And
so
we
you
had no
just-
family.
Yeah. Oh, okay, wow.
We were the only
that's
family.
actually pretty beautiful.
Yeah. So for me, it was like never friend. Like I had a couple of friends come here and there for my birthday, until but this was my first like, you know what? I want to celebrate my birthday.
Wow. Oh, that's so nice. This is actually a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the majority of the 180 people that were there, were they like people you were actually friends with? They were people you became friends with? Like, what's that dynamic?
Combination of both. Like I lost a couple of friends actually from there, but
What happened? Oh, at the party or just afterwards?
not afterwards.
Oh,
like,
I'm not saying this party
not,
was out.
Not from the party.
I had this.
yeah.
I used to throw like for my party, any party I ever had, like whether it's gender reveal for my wife and I, we would have like 100 people at our house every time.
Yeah.
100 people, 100 people, 100 people, 80 people.
That was in
70 people,
Honduras.
120 every time, 100 people. We ended up taking this away. Like even I had a housewarming party. It was like 100-something people. The whole street was double like people parked 3 blocks away in Jersey City.
Yeah.
I used to live there in the Heights. Now I live in Ironbound. But now in Ironbound's even worse parking. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So who knows? So the point of the story is, I had this giant party, and then I realized something where I was like, although these people are like friends, I think the more I've grown and matured, I really have gotten much smaller circle.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, just extremely smaller circle. And my wife and I are very fortunate. We have a lot of good friends. A lot of people, especially in real estate, the more successful you get, you can feel very isolated, very alone. Very few people understand.
Yeah.
People think, oh, you're in real estate, you make a lot of money. Very few people make a lot of money. And then even the people who make money, let's call it over 500 grand, they really don't make 500 grand. They'll tell you, I sold 100 houses last year. They sold 40. They'll tell you, I profited $1 million. They profited 20. They profited 300 grand. Their gross was $1 million.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, that's reality. My point is this. So once you start making, the higher up you go, there's smaller percentages. So then when I realized at the parties that I would now have, like I just had my 30th birthday party. I had 30 people. I had like 25 people there. 27 people.
invite.
Well, you're welcome. So I had 25 people there. 28 people there. Of the 28 people, 15 of them were my family members.
Yeah.
So I had 15 family members and 13 friends. I wasn't upset. And my friends who were like, oh, Brendan, happy birthday, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, man, thanks so much. They obviously saw I had the birthday party.
Yeah.
But it's no shame. I want like I want this. I want like the small circle, small like vibe. Like you know the expression, it's better to have like 4 quarters than 100 pennies.
Yeah.
That's how like I see friendships now. And the more I grow, man, the more, especially in real estate too. Even like how I intermingle with people in real estate, I'm very friendly with everyone. I stay open minded, like I never want to hurt anybody in the industry.
Yeah.
But I always am like people who are close. That's the case. Okay, enough about me. About you.
Sure.
So you seem pretty close with your like team members, right?
Yeah.
How do you balance like personal relationships with professional? Like for example, what would happen if you know you have like hey, this guy's a rock star, but for whatever reason he's not performing, you have to let him go, but he's your boy too. How do you handle that?
So it just happened. Yeah,
look at this.
it just happened. But he was brand new. So first of all, like on my team aspect, I go through a 3-month trial.
And you
Nobody
tell him
could
straight
join
up,
my
or no?
team until we actually get to know each other prior. Because, you know, like I could hire 20 agents right now, 50 agents if I wanted. But my biggest fear was like, okay, go to 20 agents, 3 people sell. 20 agents. And then my headache is absolutely astronomical.
Oh, astronomical, yeah.
Like, I know that if I hire 50 agents, I know I could hire 50 agents right now. And I know if every agent sells one house a month.
One house a month, one house every 2 months.
How much money
you're
I
fine.
could make? A lot of
You're
money,
good,
right?
yeah.
But nah, I'd rather, just to throw numbers out, I'd rather each member of my team close $10 to $20 million a year. Each of them. I only have 10, right?
Much better quality of life.
So
Astronomically better quality of life.
and they're my friends now. They're my family. They're the people that I want to grow with.
So how'd you say you let someone go?
So it's funny with him. He's the only person I skipped the 3-month phase, right? That's
Oh,
the person,
really?
Because I became super cool with him. That's when I was like, you know, I started into the party life, and then one of my friends from high school was dating him, and then I became super cool with him, and I loved the kid. Like I was like, yo, this kid. I was having one of my best summers, partying with him, and then living the life with him, and then he had that little thing in him.
That was spark.
Yeah, I was like, yo, you could sell houses.
Yeah.
So he got into real estate. As soon as he got into real estate, he's the type of guy, like if you tell him go talk to those people in the corner, he'll go in without a doubt and sell them something. So he got into real estate. Probably like 3 months in, he already had like 4 transactions.
We're really in Newark. You see the ambulances, the cop sirens. Welcome to Newark.
Welcome to
Central
Newark.
Ward. Here we are today, and the ambulances are out.
So in 4 months he closed 4 deals.
So
something like
in
that.
4 months he closed 4 deals. His
Yeah,
first
he was
4
brand
months
new.
One.
But his pipeline was crazy. Like he already had 20 buyers like working actively.
Wow.
And then I guess I don't know exactly what happened. Probably got to his head quick. I don't know. I wouldn't say because you know if he says this, maybe I'm wrong. And then 5 months.
But you guys
6
weren't
months
that
in,
close at that time. Or you guys got close at that time too, you would say.
Yeah, I probably would say within a year we're like super close.
So how did that break up? Like, how do you handle that? How does that handle without taking it personally? Did he leave on good terms? You feel like, oh, that was a little bit tough.
So I mean, I haven't talked to him ever since. However, I have nothing.
So you
against
lost
him.
a friendship basically because of your trying to partner together.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I lost him as a friend. I probably just more like awkward now than anything else. But with me, like I would have been okay. I just told him, man, you haven't showed up to no team meetings. Like it's been 5 months. You haven't.
Do you
sold the
require people to
transaction.
show up to team meetings or not?
Yeah,
so much?
I hate Zoom calls, right? So my team members always tell me, hey man, let's do Zoom calls every week. Like so that way, you know, we could have that team meeting. I do it usually bi-weekly. But every week, because we cannot meet up. I don't like that. I didn't even send in Zoom links, nothing. Like I was like, oh, can you send me a Zoom link, please? Like I won't be able to make it.
No.
I was like, no, in person.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it's only twice a month, like, come on, you know? And then it's only going to require 2 hours of us meeting up and talking about real estate itself. So if I start sending Zoom links, they're not going to show up at some point. They know I'm going to be sending the Zoom links. So, you know, shut up. And I told him, hey, man, it's not working out. You already know what it takes to be in real estate. I told you so. That's it. We're done.
Have you ever? I've had this situation where someone was on my team. We got very close. They left on very bad terms. They stole data. It was very, very, very bad.
Yeah.
Very, very, very bad. Screwed. Blah blah blah. I took it very personally. It was very difficult for me because I used to say the same thing. Like, oh, we're a team. We're a family. My team is not family. We're just people who work together on one mission, who care for each other, but not family. Why? Family is like unconditional.
Yeah.
It's my team is very conditional.
Yeah.
If I don't do my job and provide value, guess what my team members are going to do? Leave.
Yeah.
And if they don't do their job and provide value, guess what I'm going to have to do? Leave.
Yeah.
It's very different, right? My wife, she's not leaving. My kid, he's stuck.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the thing. Do you feel as though that's something that you've had difficulty navigating, or have you just not hit that road yet?
So I feel like right now, I could say my team is a family.
For now.
But I know at some point where
it will come.
So what I'm trying to build enough to where like they have a role within the team that God willing they will never leave, right? Because my bond with them, everybody's different. And in my team, as far as my bond with them, but I could say that everybody have such a personal connection with them in every aspect. Like I could not name one person on my team that we're just
business. What does your team look like now? I know you said you had 9 realtors.
Nine, correct.
9 realtors.
Correct, 9 realtors and my admin.
And the admin are here or overseas?
No, she's here in person.
Gotcha. And she handles transactions, listings?
She does everything. Marketing, social media.
Oh, wow. She's doing a lot.
Yeah, my transaction base. I used to have a private transaction manager, but she handles everything.
Wow, nice.
Everybody,
everyone sends her stuff to her. She's handling all these files.
Draft contracts, schedule inspections, schedule showings.
Yeah. Oh, and scheduling showings?
Not the private showings per agents, but like
for
per
listings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
So she does essentially everything. The team doesn't do anything but
go
bring
and sell
transaction.
Yeah, that's the job of the same thing here. The job of the realtor is to help people buy and sell houses by helping them find and getting them a buyer, not by like finding a lead-based paint form.
Yeah.
Okay, another question for you. How has your relationship with your family changed since you've been in real estate?
With my personal family?
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough topic, especially in these moments in my life. But with my dad, I feel like kind of like spread out a little bit. With my mom, got connected, but with my dad, it's almost like I feel like 2 ego heads. Right?
Are your parents together still or no? Kind of. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, happens.
So, but that was just a month ago.
Oh, so that's why you said it was tough right now.
Correct.
But that didn't have anything to do with real estate. That's between them.
No, but it kind of like, I feel like it correlates a little bit with that, just for purposes that who I became in the family. Because my dad hasn't really worked per se for a couple of years. He used to have his trucking business.
Major ego death.
So I feel like now that's our biggest headaches, and it correlates with everything in the family, and it applies to everything, So it was more like, who's doing better now? I'm not Oscar's dad. Oscar's my son, the kind of thing, like little corny stuff like that, where people, oh yeah, you're Oscar's dad, right? And yeah, that's my son. He got into real estate because of me, So
do you think it's like that's a heavy cost?
Yeah, I mean, I hate it because I love my dad. Like for me, like his personality, helped me to be who I am right now, because he was like that type of person, like he loved money, put it that way, or success in general. But I feel like now we got to that point that we were just bumping heads because of that. Because I was like, you became somebody that he never thought was gonna be that person, right? So I feel like it became egos at this point. Yeah,
there's a good book by Ryan Holiday. I recommend every person read it. It's called The Ego is the Enemy. And it's like, it's just so fake. Even like the idea of like more. There's another book called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, where the guy argues basically that America has like 2 gods. It's twins, like 2 twins, right? Yeah. It's like twins, a set of twins. First God is called accumulation. How much do you have? And the second God is called accomplishment. Yeah. It's like, what have you done? It's like, that's all we like drive our time towards.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I got to grind 7 days a week because I got to have more and I got to do more. And I am what I do. And if I don't succeed, I don't. So for me, that's how like real estate impacted me deeply. Real estate definitely has impacted my family dynamics, some for the better, some for the worse. So I can relate.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, if you hear like what you're sharing by your father, which is very powerful, it is like, hey, he has done more, so he is more. Mm-hmm. Or maybe that's what you think too, right? It's like, wait, if I do more, if I have more, then I am more. The reality is, it's just empty. And I found this out. I'll tell you how. There was a guy who I spoke to, a KW agent out of Manhattan. He said one of his like really, really best clients ever, right? Like super best client. Guy was super valuable. Every year would give him like 30 apartments to rent out in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. Excellent client. Like listen to his advice, follow through. They're like partners.
Yeah.
Christmas Day comes around. He says, hey, he gets a call from him and says, hey, you're coming down to Bahamas. I'm sending you on a flight. You're coming down. There's a flight at 10:30. Pack your stuff. Let's go. And he goes, 11:30. Pack your stuff. Let's go. And the guy's like, it's Christmas Day. He goes, yeah, but I got 6 chicks here waiting for us. And he said at that moment, my friend was divorced, the one in New York City. he said at that moment he realized he had effed up. He's like, that was the moment he realized the path he was on was meaningless.
Yeah.
And he said at that moment I realized that's where I'm heading. I'm heading to be with 6 girls in Bahamas on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Because my family, like, I didn't even prioritize going with them. It's like, I don't have a family. I have like my mom, my dad up in upstate, but like, where's my family? And it was so sad to him, right?
Yeah.
So he realized like, maybe it's not about just, and the guy who was down in Bahamas, rich,
Yeah.
loaded. 6 women, about 60 something years old, down in Bahamas. Emptiest life ever.
Yeah.
Oh man, this guy's got all the chicks. It's like, man, we came with a private jet. Oh, we got the road. We got the AP. It's like
people confuse like what's actually happiness and wealth, you know?
when you say that, when you say people, guess who I think of first? Me.
Yeah.
That's what I've done. And I think that's like what I've seen like pretty much all real estate. Every like realtor I think has come, every person I know, like I was just talking, before we were talking about, when Troy was on the podcast, he kind of spoke about this. He's like, every like person who came from not much and then built, they all have a certain amount of trauma and they're trying to prove their value through work.
Yeah.
And then they come to a place like, wait, I have made it, but I still don't feel that much value about myself.
Yeah.
And then you have to have like the real life consequence. So anyways, all right, another question. This would be one of my last ones. Where do you see, like, I know right now, honestly, I'm very interested. I just like the dating life because I think I've been married, right? I've been like together. My wife and I got married at 25, 24.
Oh, wow.
So when I was you're 27, when I was your age, I was already like married 2 years and coming out 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So, and we started dating when we were 20, when I was 23. So I was like very committed relationship for like, I've been with my wife now for 7 years. I do wonder this. Do you feel like you want to marry? We had a girl here. Her name is Jamie O. Jamie O. I don't know if you know her from Bayonne. She's a blonde girl.
Yeah.
Very, very
good.
nice.
I know her. I know.
Super nice girl. Very wild card girl. I like her a lot. But she was talking about how like it's hard for her because she's like has a lot of like alpha energy to like find someone. Do you feel in your case like do you want to look for someone in the real estate industry? Or you're like, hey, I'll never date a realtor. I'm looking for someone more like chill. Like, what are you looking for?
No, I'm not like specific in that aspect. For me, it's actually one of the things I'm passionate about. But I would say like if she's not, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Is that alpha mentality? For me, it's the hardest thing to see.
You like the alpha woman?
I don't care if she makes more money than me. I don't care how she. I don't care how she looks.
I prefer.
Yeah, I don't care how she dresses. Like I don't care if she goes out with like girls' night. Like for me, it's not a big. I like that person. I like to feel like that when I'm walking with a girl inside a room, people know she's there, and whether it's not just by the looks or the way that she dresses, it's more like she's coming. She's the one that I'm personally attracted to that. Like even stuff like that is minimal because it's materialistic. But I love to see a girl with in a nice car, whether she bought it herself, whether her husband bought it, whatever the case may be. I don't know. I'm attracted to that in that aspect.
What's a nice car to you? Dream car.
Not a dream car, but
I'll be honest. I had this thing with my brother. I would agree. My brother and I were growing up. When we were kids. We would always say only beautiful women drive white cars. So that was a big thing.
Yeah, for me it's like another brand. But I love to see a woman just like a car that is already played out. Someone's the G-Wagon or like a nice Range Rover. Like I love to see women coming out of those cars. And I'm attracted. I'm like
they're coming right now. This is live.
6 girls.
That's it.
In the Bahamas.
That's it.
Yeah. So. For me, there's not a specific woman. I'm attracted to that, but for me, I feel like at this point, it just give me that comfortability, that same thing that you said. You're working, but when you go back home, you feel at peace. Like I hate my last relationship was kind of toxic. She's from your country, so
Brazil.
So
okay,
it was
fair enough.
Yeah, it was tough. So I feel like when I'm looking for a relationship, I'm trying to avoid that type of relationship. So I was so deep into that hole that thank God
that was like 4 years ago. Now you're a different person. I'm sure she's revolved. Okay, rapid fire questioning. How would you say your relationship with money has changed from 2 years ago, 3 years ago when the market was very, very, very hot, lower rates, easier to make money, I would say, versus today? Definitely more challenging to make money, less transactions to be had. How has your relationship with money changed?
So right now, I actually feel it's better, but I feel like it came out more because of my lifestyle.
How so?
because before I was making a lot of money, right? I'm, thank God we're still doing well, but I was partying a lot, so I was spending a lot of my money. So now since I already went through the phase, like everything now in my real estate career, it's an add-on, because I'm investing more into real estate.
Like you mean purchase, loaning money, like you're
Yeah,
saying, the hard
correct.
money
So
stuff?
before, yeah, I was making, but I was spending. I was making and spending, making and spending.
So do you feel like money has increased, like, or
Yeah, it has
what's?
increased more, and my lifestyle is a little bit better. And then,
Oh, so it's not that you're like necessarily I make so much more, but you're saving so much more. So
yeah,
the gap
correct.
is bigger.
I think it's astronomical.
What would you attribute saving the money to? Because a lot of people, when they make money in real estate, they keep spending, keep spending, keep spending, keep spending.
Yes, I mean, for me, it was more that aspect of like partying, going out a lot, man. Like when I was looking at my taxes and entertainment, it was like,
Yeah.
like what is this,
What would you say? Why were you spending so much money on entertainment, would you say?
Because that was a hole that I was trying to fill in by going out, right? So I'm a single person, and I live by myself, and then I don't cook, so I just hit up a friend of mine. You want to go for a couple drinks, and then outside eating every day, drinking every day, because I have nowhere to go, no kids, no pets, whatever the case may be.
We got to
So,
get you a dog.
yeah, so that I feel like that actually was affecting me, but now I learned to be alone without just kind of like spending money and looking for friends outside. Now I love going home. Like before, I hated being home because I feel like I was not productive. Doesn't matter the time. I felt like I was obligated to be in the office at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night.
What time do you leave the office now?
So, I mean, as of the last 3 months,
Yeah.
I had barely gone to the office.
So you're not working at all, or?
No, I am, but like I'm more on the streets now.
Why
like
is that?
Because what we spoke earlier, as far as like my clientele now is more investors, so now it's more like job sites, and now I'm more involved into real estate for personal purchases. So it's more.
What's like your goal, you would say, this year? Like how many properties do you want to purchase this year?
So my now I'm thinking about one property per month from now on.
So you want to buy one property for the next 6 months or
Correct.
6 months, right?
Correct,
You have
yeah.
6 months left.
I'm in contract in 2, so
So you say boom. And what kind of properties do you want to buy?
multifamilies.
Why?
Like buy and holds. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Buy and
same
hold.
thing.
Why?
Like I don't want to become, and a lot of people are gonna kill me for that because they're gonna say, "Oh, you should be thinking about yourself, right?" The other people. I don't want to be a competitor to my clients, so I don't want to flip as much, right? I rather invest with them and put my money into the flip with them. So on my multifamily is just gonna, besides, it's growing wealth, just passive income, and I feel like on the buy and hold aspect is less. I'm not a competitor to my clients, so I'm just kind of like building that up.
Yeah, so you're saying you want to do buy and hold, not for the sake of just like you're so passionate about building wealth, because you don't want to lose the opportunity and you don't want to compete with your investor clients.
Yeah, I don't want my clients
it's
to be
very
like,
rare.
"Oh, you got a good deal, you want to keep it,"
No, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Because you want them to be there for you.
Correct.
Okay, now let me ask you. You said before, if you don't like to say this, we can edit this out, so don't worry.
Yeah.
But you were saying that your goal is to be out of production like a year and a half, 2 years from now, whatever it is. Production meaning like you don't want to continue buying to houses. It doesn't really like give you as much joy as it once did. For me, I really do love working with people to buy into houses.
Yeah.
That is for me. I don't know why. What's in my head. I genuinely enjoy going on listing consults, explaining. I like working with buyer, talking to them about the process. It's not the highest return on my time. I can make more money doing other things, but it brings me joy. And for me, I try to focus on things that bring me a lot of joy and a lot of money. So what would you say for you is kind of like that, like what's driving you to get out of production? And then what are you going to do when you're out of production? Are you going to just go to the beach?
No, I mean, out of production is more like I always vision myself when I got into real estate. I wanted to use my money to invest in businesses. I just be the financial guy, like almost like Shark Tank. Put it that way.
You want to invest?
I have always like since early in my life as a young person, I was like, you know what? Just want to give money and then have other people run it.
But don't you think it'll be tough? Like I always think about that too. But for me, I've never run another business. I've only run a real estate sales business. So I'm not sure what degree of my knowledge is transferable to, let's say, like franchises, or like brick and mortar locations.
But everything like I would be willing to do within the real estate business. Like,
okay, give me an
because I
example.
feel like real estate, it's now you have the IT. There's a lot of IT that you can invest on. Brokerage, like I said before. I'm not saying that I'm gonna open a brokerage, but it's just an avenue. Open a title company, an appraisal company. So everything that correlates to real estate. So there's so many ways to per se make money out of it, but you're just owning the business out of it.
Okay.
So on an inspection company, grow it to a crazy level. So it's more
Like really,
with
like
your real
auxiliary
estate.
services, you're
Yes,
saying?
correct.
So it's like title, inspection, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Okay. Another question for you. What would you say was the biggest cost that you had of like that cost you to lose money? Like for me, the most money I've lost, I have so many examples. I've lost so much money. I've lost money in school construction, like so much money I've lost construction. It's insane. As this guy, Mike Marnetti, he says, he goes, I've lost, the school construction was the most expensive college ever.
Yeah.
He always says a joke, but he's true. What would you say for you is like the biggest cause of money that you've lost?
In dollar figures?
No, you don't have to be a dollar amount.
No, but
if you want, go ahead.
I mean, no,
But, like,
everything's within the same concept as you know,
What would you say?
within the real estate and in
but, like,
construction. Yeah.
Oh, in construction, you say was the biggest one
Yeah.
for you?
Right.
Yeah, I've gotten crushed with construction.
Yeah.
Crushed. And I have a
you know,
great contractor. He's a good
I
guy.
had one time a guy gave money and then he just ran away with the money and
Why'd you give him the money?
no, it was everything like first deposit, second
Oh, for the
deposit,
construction?
yeah, construction.
Oh, that happens
yeah.
to me too. Yeah.
Yeah, but
At
I mean,
50
I feel
it was,
like we all calculate that already in real
50
estate.
I think it was ended up being 15,000.
Yeah.
And he ran off on
Yeah.
15,000.
I feel like in real estate, you're always gonna come across this.
I got so
That's
mad.
just,
I don't know if you got mad, but I got so upset.
Yeah,
I got really upset. I lost that. I remember this. I got very upset. I had another guy too. He's an electrician.
Yeah.
He did a bunch of work, paid him. Then he basically
Yeah.
fled the state, and I had to get another electrician to basically finish the job. And the electrician said, "I can't do this."
Yeah.
I said, "Why not?" He goes, "I have to. Everything you did, I need to rip out.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can keep here."
I mean, there's right now, man. I'm going into issues that it could be the biggest loss in money.
What
Don't
is
ever
that?
lend money to people. That's
Oh.
one thing I
For business or for friendship? Or
did it
both?
for friendship, for business. Put it that
Oh,
way.
he's a friend, but he wanted it for his own business purpose.
Yeah.
Was it
And
a
then-
deal? Like he's buying a property or no?
Nah, it was personal. Like
He wants to start a
yeah.
laundromat.
So that I feel like if that doesn't happen, it's probably my biggest one. Is I'll be like,
Okay, I'm
so
gonna
in 3 months later, if I don't get paid, it's
You're
already
gonna
been a
feel-
year since I got paid, but you know,
Well, but you did get paid, or you haven't got paid
I
yet.
haven't gotten paid yet.
And when are you supposed to get paid?
It was supposed to be a 30-day.
Loan?
Yeah.
And how long has it been?
It's about to be a year, July.
You're probably not going to get paid.
Yeah, I already put a lien against the properties.
Oh, you've lost a friend.
Yeah, at this
So-
point, it's like,
No, you've definitely lost a friend.
nah.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing that he's actually a really, really nice guy in Florida. He's a mentor to me. His name is Kirk Solberg. Amazing guy. Amazing guy. Amazing guy. He's a dentist, Christian, very good guy. And he said something to me. It's very beautiful. He was like, I do my best never to loan money to someone. If I loan money, I give it away.
Yeah,
That's what he said. So he's like, I only loan, like, let's say Rami, right, a videographer. He called me one day. He's like, great guy. This did not happen, but if he did, he's like, hey, Brad, I'm in a bind. I just need $2,000 for like literally 2 weeks. I'll pay you back.
yeah,
At that moment, I ask myself one question: can I afford to give Rami $2,000? And if I do, I have this rule. I say, I'm going to give him $2,000. Rami, this is the last time I'll ever give you money. You can be dying on the street. I won't give you money again.
yeah,
And that's my rule. So I only loan money that in my mind I see as a gift. I literally see it as a gift.
Yeah.
Because the other person, they don't pay you back, they feel guilty.
yeah,
Because when they ask you for the loan, most times they mean like, okay, I got to pay this guy back.
yeah.
But, it's very sad. I think that's happened to me, especially with family too. I don't know if you loan money to family yet, if you have.
Nah, not yet.
Oh,
And
you'll
that's
see.
a top
You'll see.
topic, man. And
It'll come.
yeah,
It'll
so
come.
but I learned my lesson. Actually, it's funny when I gave the money to that person. Literally 2 days later, I saw on Instagram. I think it was Grant Cardone who said, "If the bank is not willing to lend that money to that
Oh,
person,
yes! I saw that
why
reel.
would you give it to that person?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "That's it. I'm not getting my money back." Because I feel like it was a sign that
It was a sign
like,
for
I
sure.
was like, it makes sense. Like, if the bank is not willing to give it to you, why would I give it to you?
And did
You
you
know?
charge him interest?
Yeah, but that interest is like, I already told him, bro, just give me my base and
Give me
that's
the
it.
principal code.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Last thing I'll ask you here: if you could change one thing about your life as it's been impacted by real estate, what would it be?
No, I feel like I would live more. I enjoy more about life itself.
And you don't do that because you're so driven with your work that you
Yeah.
sacrifice joy of life just so you can make more money.
I find myself depressed a lot of times where I look at it, just stare sometimes at the sky and be like, damn, man, have I really lived? Like, am I here?
Isn't it interesting that you say this, right? And the funny part is I literally was in the same exact sea. I'm not kidding you. Almost 3 years ago to the date, in November of October 21, I had like a nervous breakdown. I doubled my volume almost in the business. I went from 132 to 222, so about 80 units more, 90 units more. Good jump, year over year. And I literally like crashed. And since then, I've been on this journey where it's like, I'm not chasing profit.
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong, I want to run a great business, but for a much greater purpose. And I want to succeed holistically.
Yeah.
Like, so I always say, like, I'm okay with making half as much money as long as I get to spend double the time with my family.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually like what matters.
That's where I'm at right now. Sometimes I'm like, damn, have I lived?
No, you haven't. You had a life crisis. All you've done is work. You came to America. Can I tell you what happened? You got from the American dream. It's a lie.
Yeah.
It's a lie. Make money.
Yeah.
You'll feel good about yourself.
And that's it.
And then you make a lot of money. And you're like, okay, well, it's not that much. I know this guy who brings in $2 million a month.
Yeah.
I know this guy who brings $4 million a month. And you're like, oh man, I'm nobody. I'm so small.
Yeah.
And then you make the $4 million a month. Like I was talking to this one guy, literally brings in $56 million net a year. Reality, not hype, truth.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to him, and he's like, yeah, like I realized, like my goal is to be home by 4:30, 5:30, and just have dinner with my family. Like I don't even care if I make it's a lie.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what he said. It's like it's a lie. And when he said to me, I'm like, what? No, that's the goal. You're living the life.
Yeah.
He goes, no, it's a lie. And I was like, no. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Oscar Nunez. If you want to sell or buy property, you should talk to him. If you want to be a part of a good team, you should talk to him. And if you want some investment properties, you should talk to him. Thank you for coming on, man.
Appreciate it.